Today, we are diving into a really powerful idea that can change how you think about teaching, leading, or really any kind of relationship. It's this concept of choosing presence over perfection, inspired by the incredible work of Vijay Lakshmi. Let's jump right in.
Right there, that's the whole idea in a nutshell. So simple, but it really makes you stop and think, doesn't it? It goes against everything we're taught about being an expert. So you have to wonder, how did the author arrive at this conclusion? Well, it all started with how she saw herself as a student.
Okay, so this whole story really kicks off with the author's identity when she was a student. For her, knowledge wasn't just about learning things. It was like a shield, an armor she wore to face the world.
I think we all know someone like this, right? She describes herself as a bit nerdy, always with extra books, using big words, and ready to share some random, unique fact. But this wasn't just a personality quirk. It was a carefully built persona.
And why? What was driving all of this? It was this deep internal pressure to be the knowledgeable person in the room. That knowledge was her armor. It was her way of standing out, of feeling safe, of proving that she belonged. And that's the exact mindset she carried with her when she first stepped into a classroom as a teacher.
So, at first, she thought teaching was pretty straightforward. I have the knowledge, my job is to transfer it into the students' heads. A simple transaction. But oh boy, the reality of the classroom was about to completely shatter that belief.
And this is where things get really interesting. This brings us to a powerful new idea: the classroom as a mirror.
You see, what she realized is that before students even begin to process a single word of your lesson, they're processing you. They're watching your facial expressions, listening to your tone, reading your body language. They notice everything: your confidence, a raised eyebrow, even if your voice is just a little bit shaky. It's that simple and that profound. Before they decide to engage with the material, they're deciding if they trust and connect with you. That human connection, it always comes first. And that's the whole classroom as a mirror concept. The room doesn't just reflect back how much you know, it reflects your humanity, your patience, your presence. It showed her that just having all the facts isn't nearly enough. What really truly matters is connection. Now, this wasn't some abstract theory she just came up with. No, this was a lesson she learned the hard way, through one very specific and, let's just say, uncomfortable moment with a student. So picture this. She's in the classroom with an 8th grader. The student is totally lost, struggling with the most basic concepts and getting more and more frustrated by the minute.
And then, out of that frustration, the student cracks a joke. It's about her age, and about this time she accidentally started lecturing in French. It's this moment where the tension just breaks. And her first reaction? She was totally thrown off. It felt personal, like a direct hit. That armor of knowledge she'd worn for so long had been pierced. And it felt awful. But later, after she had some time to really think about it, she had this incredible realization. That student's comment, it wasn't actually about her at all. It was about his discomfort. It was a projection of his own frustration, his own feeling of being completely lost and overwhelmed. The joke was his only way of dealing with it. And realizing that was the turning point, a total game changer. So that one moment, that one interaction, completely flipped the script on what it meant to be a great teacher. The goals shifted from being perfect to simply being present. And you can see the difference so clearly here. The perfect teacher is that flawless, all-knowing expert who pushes everyone to their limit. But the present teacher, they listen, they encourage, they celebrate the small wins. It's less about pushing for the perfect answer and more about creating a safe space to even ask the question. And here's the beautiful part. This wasn't just better for the students. By shifting her focus to building their confidence, she was able to let go of the crushing pressure she'd put on herself. It became a shared journey. Because that's the big takeaway, isn't it? Teaching isn't a performance where one person has all the answers. It's a mutual journey where everyone is growing together. So her transformation really happened in these 3 stages. She went from being the expert to being a fellow learner. She shifted from just dumping information to sparking genuine curiosity. And she realized that growth isn't a destination you arrive at, it's a lifelong process. And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? The moment we stop trying to be flawless, we open up this incredible space for real, authentic connection. And that's where the most meaningful learning happens, for everybody involved.
So that leaves us with a question to reflect on. And it's not just for teachers. In our own lives, as parents, as colleagues, as friends, are we chasing this impossible idea of perfection, or are we giving ourselves permission to be human, to be present, and to truly connect with the people right in front of us?